Okay, so I've wanted to do this AI agent thing for a while, mostly because I would love to have a assistant that operates just like schedule, weather, can take care of my calendar. So I mean, like, pretty sweet to build that. Replit starts to reach its limits at this point, technically. So, um, I put together, I think an idea of what you want to do. So some different Allie Miller had a great one on experience to be delivered. Sam Altman talks about different users, how they use AI. Even there's this great YC call for startups. So just kind of give an idea of like what the thing is. Um, start to put some, you know, basically like what are the requirements for this, or if I was going to build this as a company, what would this look like in case someday in the future I wanted to expand this out. And then like kind of a basic architectural diagram. It's just like what does this look like? What do I need? How do I set it up? And a lot of this is just brainstorming with GPT, but giving it a good idea of what I'm thinking about doing. Um, so like I said, I got in there, added cursor to I kind of thought it's called like an IDE or like a coding environment. You basically have instead of Visual Studio, you download the cursor version of this, and it's basically looks exactly like Microsoft Visual Studio. I got a little bit of distance into this already, but just it sits up over here on the right, and just kind of like Replit, where you have an AI agent, you can talk to it, ask questions like, "What should I do next?" Or even like once you have some of this code here, say you can add it to the chat and ask questions about it. So super helpful. And like I kind of showed you before with Replit, I'm a big project planner in ChatGPT. So this is an agent here, kind of similar to this is actually kind of cribbed a little bit from the YC quest for company quote that I showed in there, but this is generally what we're doing. So reference this when you look at it. And then it kind of strings different chats in here. So, I had talked to it a little bit about Replit versus LangChain. I kind of built a personal assistant piece. This is some of those phases that I had looked at. Um, AI tools, kind of asking it about, these are the different types of tools I want to do profile agent, a flight agent. I want to make transactions. So just like a lot of brainstorming with ChatGPT, you kind of get to this point here where I've started building. So I'm not going to subject you to this whole thing here, but basically want to create multiple phases. This is going back and forth like benefits of Replit versus using LangChain and LangGraph. And at this point, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this cursor piece set up. Um, Replit's building like Legos. This is building with full robotics lab. Okay. So, this is just how I kind of converse with it and go back and forth with it. But um, asked it to help me install a coding assistant. You decide to purchase Cursor. This is not an ad for Cursor, but I would love for them to send me some credits would be awesome. Um, and yeah, so I think this is the only thing I want to kind of show you here is where I kind of get back in this. Um, like how do I get started? This is where we went. So generate the cursor starter template. So it's pretty basic. Okay, so we went through this kind of said, hey, we've got the memory, the tools set up, retrieval, um, phase two file. I actually went to phase two. So it's kind of basically giving me the laydown of add state memory, tool and function calling. So you're kind of like slowly building up into something more and more advanced as you go. It's telling you, these are the new files that you're going to add. A lot of this is just adding up. I'm going to kind of just cruise through here. So one of the things I really liked was like, man, I pushed a lot of code. What's going on? So let's see. This is all today, also. Okay, so at one point I said, explain what we've done so far. We have next as if I was a non-technical person. Not me, but if I was not a technical person. Set the brain, give it short-term memory, connect it to a personal filing cabinet, set the tools, build first. What comes next? So this is where I'm very excited. So AI is going to automatically use tools, make decisions about the tool use, and this is where it starts to get useful. So anyways, this is where we're at. I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm going to switch over to cursor just so you can kind of see how this goes. But okay, cursor. All right. So I'm first want to replace my old tool set. And I can kind of do this two ways. I can either just even delete all this, throw this in here and save it, or for smaller updates, that will probably make a lot of sense. But people watching this that are more technical are probably cringing. This part, so I'm gonna update the main file, which has the bulk of the code right now. That's where I get a little nervous. So I'm actually gonna say this is the code that ChatGPT gave me. Take a look before updating main. You can actually tell it what files just to direct it. So I'm actually just copy and pasting the code, making sure it's all set up. There's no issues. Um, Kind of crazy part as we're looking at that, you can actually have it connected into main.py too. So I'm maybe kind of overkilling a little bit, but it's actually, directly in that setup. So I'm gonna go back here and see. So cursor does this piece where, go line by line and tell you can accept. I mean, I'm vibe coding here, so just mostly you can just set the whole file. Um, we will see how that goes. So let's fire it up here. Um, okay, so as usually happens here, this thing is broken. And so I'm going to add it to the chat, say help. Okay, finds it, basically accept, looking good, and then run it again. So I think one of the issues of going back and forth between, you know, ChatGPT and this is like, I think this is an issue I found in a previous one where, it's basically like using an old version of this. And we actually had fixed this in a previous, and by we, I mean me, had fixed this in a previous iteration. I'm not sure that ChatGPT got the picture there, but let's see. Yeah, so it's still just not loving this. I think it is a little frustrating. I kind of shot myself in the foot here, but make sure this is the most up. So, something to learn from me here, but it's like some of the context is lost between ChatGPT and Cursor. ChatGPT has my project plan. Cursor has the code. Um, so let's see if it's going to figure it out. Still poking around. Does it hate this? Let's see. Okay, let's see if we'll, oops, exit, oops. Okay, so I'm gonna see if this works. Hey, how are you? Man, this is real jacked up. Okay, so just gonna throw this whole chunk in here because trying to call tools, issues with looping. This is like a whole thing. So I'm again manage a chat. Can you help me out with these errors? I might have tried to go a little too hard and update that whole main.py file. I'm gonna let you see what type of mess I'm in just for the mems here and see if this can work. Let's see. View, set file. Okay, that's crazy. So now it's just working. Okay, let's see. What's the weather? San Diego. Okay, so we don't have real-time access to weather. Um, that's kind of a bummer. I thought it would get us there. Let's see. How can I give this agent real-time access to weather? I think I have an open weather key, but I might hold on. I might pause this real quick. So I added the OpenWeather API. Basically said figure it out, except just vibe coding. So I'm just accepting blindly. See if it can get the weather to check. Okay. Actually, I might. Okay, so I added the API key to the .env file. Let's see. What's the weather in San Diego? Seem to be stuck here, so hold on. So kind of just still putzing around here. I am now in the phase 5 piece. So phase 4, according to ChatGPT, and this could be, you know, one of those videos where we learn a lot about how much we don't know. But we could call the weather API. So I got a whole new account and Open Weather API, updated it, and it was still like, hey, we're not smart enough to even do that. So I'm going to continue trucking along with this. This might end up being a crazy dead end here, but um, okay, great. I'm gonna keep on plugging along a cursor at this point. So um, a lot of the issues that I would previously, yes, please get stuck in coding would be from versioning. So this has been super, super helpful to, um, you know, when there's issues, basically say, hey, this is what's going on, or this is why it's jacked up. Um, this feels like I'm a little bit stuck in a loop here, but okay, yes, updated, guess go, yes, updated. Well, feels like I'm a bit of a doom loop here, but I think the takeaway is this is a really powerful tool. This video is probably an interesting point in time. The next one I'll try to reshoot with um, some more progress or at least some more understanding here. Yes, let's get to running this weather agent. I don't know. I keep on getting pulled back in here, though, to be honest with you. So maybe we'll just do a little bit more while we're going. There's no way it's going to be able to call up right now. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to kick that off. No, it's not ready to go. So there's a couple of updates I need to make here according to ChatGPT. So in this one, I need to add this code. So that's going to go to here. Okay, that's basically unchanged. Tools, add tools. This is the code from ChatGPT. See if that is helpful. Mm, do whatever cleaner, easier to understand. Okay, and then tools is getting a little complicated to be honest with you, but we'll see. And the last one is this was to be the crazy one. So this is true function calling inside land graph. And this is, if we get this right, there's going to be real autonomous agent orchestration. So, we'll see. This is the code from ChatGPT. All right, this could be a beast. More modern. Yes. Yes, updated, please. Okay. So after all this is said and done, I'm going to really want to see some serious weather work. Okay, so firing it up, massive amount of, oh my God, what a shit show. This is going to be, how bad is this? Okay, throw this in chat. This looks like a mess. Oh, yeah. And this looks like a hot mess, to be honest with you. Okay, chroma. Okay, okay. Again, I don't know if this is actually the best way to do this with, you know, the AI agent working in the main.py file or the ChatGPT kind of going back and forth. So, okay. Do you know the weather? No. Okay. So updates again. Hmm, Okay. So basically, been chatting back and forth between ChatGPT and Cursor. And it seems like ChatGPT understands where we're stuck at. And so right here. But Cursor is actually stuck. I basically said, put it in its own language, see if you can help it. It's stuck. It needs a buddy. You're its buddy. Okay. How are you? What can help me provide? Okay, this is interesting. I don't know if this is gonna help, but very interesting. Really. Better for worse. I'm in this video after this. Okay. Not the best, but it's progress. So come by for the next video, see how we go from here. Thanks for watching.